Hello, how are you doing? Listen, I got a question. Have you ever looked at your resume, your GPA, or your work history, and you thought you were guaranteed for an opportunity only to be rejected? Or maybe you looked at the history of what you have there and you're concerned that you might be rejected. I was working with someone in the past who had strong academics. I'm talking 4.0, great test scores, wonderful internships. I mean, on paper, this person was the person to be selected, but they didn't get in to the graduate program of their dreams. Matter of fact, they didn't get into their top five and they applied for seven different programs. And they were wondering, like, with all these credentials that I have, everything I've listed on my resume, I just knew that I was a perfect candidate. And so one thing stood out to me as we started to go back through their materials. Your personal statement. Your personal statement was good, but it wasn't giving the decision makers what they needed. It was polished, but it didn't shine. And so what that person realized in that moment was that you're never too late to learn how to write. You're never too late to learn how to write for academia. And the way that you tell your story, it has to be very strategic. And so today in this video, I want to teach you that. I want to teach you how to write a statement that shines. I'm going to give you the opportunity to learn about five strategic things that you need to do. I want at the end of this video for you to be able to walk away, to end your workout, to end your drive after listening to this with more clarity, with more purpose, with more understanding and confidence to write a personal statement that shines. Now, to do this, I want to talk about the shine framework that we use with our clients that apply to graduate school. See, at Apply to Graduate School, our aim and goal is to help you find a graduate program aligned with your goals in the future that you want to create. And so, a lot of this, when it comes to your personal statement, is about your storytelling. And we all have heard really good stories. We watch stories on television, we read stories in articles, we hear stories on social media. But how good are you at being able to articulate your story? But it's not just the story that you're articulating, it's the one that you write. And writing a story is a lot more complicated, but it doesn't have to be. There are really five things that you need to do. And so I'm going to share with you the Shine framework so that you will be able to write your story and feel confident. So the first part of the Shine framework is you've got to show your story. You've got to start by showing your story in a focused way. See, this part covers your past. So at the very beginning, you're going to be describing briefly, and I do mean briefly, only the pieces that shaped your interest in this given field. Only talk about the experiences that led to your decision to pursue this degree. Think of this really as kind of the spark of your personal statement. It's not a full biography. You're not giving a complete history. Keep in mind, they already have your resume. So you don't need to be going through regurgitating back to people what they can see on the resume. What you want to do is to give people concise information in a short time spot. I mean, if I'm reading this out loud, am I listening to this and this is a 5-minute document that I'm listening to? I want the first 20 seconds to be just brief introduction as to who you are and your background. For example, I might write, my name is Justin Grimes, and having worked at a community center introduced me to the challenges older students face returning to school. The experience guided me toward my interest in adult learning and education policy. Real quickly, you're learning from me that you learned a little bit about my past experiences in terms of where I work. You learned about the population of who I have worked with. You learned that I'm interested in going back to school and that my experience around adult learning and education policy, which is directly connected to the program I'm applying to, is something I'm serious about. Notice how what I showed you was very simple, it was honest, it was connected to my direction. It's a reflection of the program. So again, I'm showing you the story. I'm showing you the journey from the beginning, but I'm painting the picture and really directing you towards where I'm going forward. The H in the Shine framework is to highlight your purpose. This is where you really begin to explain your opportunity of fit, right? People are trying to do this matching process. Does your interests and experiences align with some of my interests and experiences as a faculty member and decision maker? See, programs want to know that you understand exactly what they offer and how it connects to your purpose. So, let me give you an example of how a person can highlight their purpose in the wrong way by offering some type of generic explanation. I want to join your program because it's well known. They're not at all interested in you repeating back to them that. Sure, the website indicates that they're in the top 10 of this, or they were found on Business Newsweek or some other space where they indicate that this is a top program or it's well known. They're not interested in that. What you write has to be purposeful. So here's a better example. I'm drawn to your program because of its emphasis on applied research and its commitment to improving college access for underrepresented learners. Notice how in this one I highlighted alignment. See, the program that I'm describing there has a strong emphasis on people who can use applied research. It's not about just becoming a researcher, it's about being able to describe how you're going to use this in real time. They're also looking for people with backgrounds in information around college access or helping underrepresented populations. That's what some of these faculty members tend to research and study and write articles about. I'm showing my alignment because I did my research and homework. And that's what you have to do. You have to be able to go back through and highlight your purpose, but more highlight the purpose of what they do using their language, using their interests, and aligning it with yours. The purpose of this is to build credibility. Now, let's get to the I. The I is to illustrate your goals. See, every single person decides to pursue a graduate degree, doesn't wake up one day and just say, you know what I think I'm going to do? Go to grad school. No, that's not how it works. You've experienced something, you've done something, you've witnessed something, you've heard something. And so you have to articulate to people your long-term goal through your personal statement directive. Like your personal statement should be almost like a GPS map. Here's the first thing you're going to do, then the next thing, and then how do we get to the final destination? See, only you who input the information knows what the final destination is for you. Anyone else who's a passenger can preview that through what they see. And that's what you're having to do now is illustrate and showcase what that thing is. We call these goals. And so when a reader understands where you're headed, when a decision maker understands where you're going, they can understand better how to help you get there. And so you have to articulate your goal very clearly. And so the way you illustrate your goal may be something like this. My long-term goal is to lead initiatives that improve completion rates for working adult students. This is somebody who was applying for an adult education program. You got to be able to explain what exactly you want to do. I want to improve completion rates. You know, the people who pursue this degree or in this program have studied that. They look at this type of information, but they also know the population of which they're studying, adult students. See, when you're illustrating your goals, it's not about perfection. It's truly about you showing your intention and showing that with clarity. It's about you illustrating the future you are moving forward to, right? Like it's about you saying, here's where I'm trying to go. Here's the goal. I want you to help me to get to that point where I can accomplish that goal, whatever it is. Not everything is research, not everything is application, but it's going to fit in likely one of those two areas. So think about that. The end in the SHINE framework is navigate your fit. Now you have to explain the specific opportunity helps you, how the specific opportunity helps you move forward. In other words, what I'm saying is you've got to navigate the connection between what you need and what the program provides. This goes back to doing your homework. And so the reason why that person that I mentioned at the very beginning with all these wonderful credentials didn't get into their programs is because they never indicated or demonstrated how they fit. They weren't demonstrating their strong quantitative skills. They weren't talking about their exposure to research and the research they done. They didn't speak to their clinical training or their professional network. They spent so much time on all the past things I did. I was in this organization and I learned these things and I explored this, but you've got to be very specific. And the other part was what they did explain didn't align with what the program was interested in. That is what we call a poor demonstration of fit. But you want to be able to navigate this. So here's an example. To reach my goal, I need to deeper training in data analysis and hands-on experience evaluating student programs. Your curriculum and research model will give me the foundation I need to grow. Notice that last piece, your curriculum and your research model is going to give me something. I'm explaining that you have something that's going to be helpful for me. And it's not only going to help me for where I'm trying to go, but it's going to help me grow. And that's another part of this process. Are you the type of person that is looking to grow, to take what you know right now, at the space and the place that you are right now, and elevate that? Are you looking at what types of things they're doing? This program is big on hands-on experience. This is why this person mentioned this. And that's what you're going to do to navigate fit. See, it's about you showing them the bridge. Again, it's you navigating the current abilities and connections that you have and the future path that you're going and making these things fit. The last part of the SHINE framework is explain your impact. Okay. So by the end of this document, you should be explaining the problem that you want to solve, the impact that you're hoping to make. Every single person wants to have an impact. I want to leave an impact on the ways in which we understand cancer, or the ways in which we understand certain cells, or the ways in which we understand different aspects of plants and its impact on our health system and ecosystem. I want to understand economics. Whatever the topic is, you want to leave an impact on the field. And so schools want applicants who can think beyond themselves and think about the greater good. So you might want to address a challenge in the field, a gap that you want to close, an issue you want to improve through your work. Let me give you an example. I want to address the lack of flexible support services for students balancing full-time work and family responsibilities. Many programs still rely on outdated models that do not meet their needs. Understand the impact that I want to have. There is an imbalance related to the services available for people who are full-time employees who go to school. What are those services? What are their experiences? This person was looking into a master's of social work program and recognizing like there are a lot of people who have a need, and some of those people who have need are current students, but they're not able to finish their programs or their bachelor's degrees or get the support that they need because they work full time. They just can't pop into office hours at 1 p.m. So they wanted to explore this a little bit more. That's about explaining impact. Impact is about you sharing the vision, the purpose, and the contribution. Impact is what makes your statement memorable. So now you have all the information from the SHINE framework. What I want you to do next is I want you to think about your personal statement and how you can make it shine. And what's required for you to be able to have the right structure, the clarity, and the strategy. Because once you have a statement that shines, the writing process becomes much easier, faster, and confident. But I want to help you in this. I want to give you more insight into not just the SHINE framework, but how to break this down. What should you put in each sentence, each paragraph? And after you've written it all up, I want to be the person who reads it and reviews it and gives you feedback. And then I want to have my editor, a former faculty member who sat on thousands of dissertations and helped support many master students get in and through graduate school. They're going to put their eyes on it and give you the thing. This happens in our PSA program. So if you want more information, in the comments, write the words PSA or reach out to us at info@applytograduateschool.com. And we look forward to helping you write a story that is not only powerful, but one that shines. Have a good one.